Hello, welcome to Barbara Jane Art and Design. Last time I was swatching my green colour pencils, and this time I'm going to swatch my blues and my violets. So if you're on the lookout to buy some new pencils, or if you just enjoy watching colours being laid down, this might be something you'll enjoy. I've got a variety of types of pencils. I've got some Caran Luminance, I've got Derwent Drawing and Derwent Lightfast, I've got Faber-Castell Polychromos, and I've got some Holbein. So let's get started. So the first one we're going to swatch is the Luminance Light Malachite Green. Got to get back into the, there we are, back into the swing of it. This has got a little bit of contamination there of a brighter green. (181), very pretty colour. Now, where do I put these though? That's the question. Let's put those there. There we go. Right, and then the next one is Polychromos Cobalt Green. So these colours I was bought with doing some coastal work in mind. Because, you know, when you're in like West Wales and anywhere down the west coast really in the UK, where the water's got that beautiful turquoise colour if you catch it just right in the sunlight. So yeah, you definitely need some turquoises to do that justice. This one's a bit more muted. This is Sky Mist by Holbein. And I tend to like muted blues. You'll see I don't have that many bright blues in my collection. And what's that one? That's a 2-star. Again, that was another one that I bought for the colour more than the light fastness. But I would never not buy that because that's one of my favourite colours. Reminds me a bit of the, oh yeah, it's pretty close to the smoke blue look. A bit more saturated with the blue, but both of those wonderful colours. I love them. That would be really nice for a sky on a dull day. We get plenty of those in the UK, don't we? So just picking up the shadows and clouds, or even if I just wanted to give the impression of a dull day by having a more muted blue in the sky. Right, light cobalt turquoise. Oh, this one's Polychromos again. Another pretty turquoise. I'm out of the swing of it again now. I need to get my mind focused again. Light cobalt turquoise. Back in the zone. And that's 154. That one is a 2-star only of the Polychromos. But very pretty again. How does it compare? So the malachite green is definitely greener. The cobalt green. But we've got a nice range of colours there for ocean work. And this one as well. In fact, the next two will also be useful for that. This one is Polychromos again, and it's cobalt turquoise, 3-star. Don't know. Very difficult to see. I'm going with that. So light cobalt turquoise and cobalt turquoise. So that's the difference between those two. So we're getting a nice range. I am quite keen to get, that's the light malachite green. I might get the malachite green as well to go with that. So we'll see one day. No rush for anything else. So I've got all the colours I need for a while. I won't be buying anything else. I need to start using them now a bit more. Getting the artwork made. I've been in preparation mode. I need to start getting into, well, should we call it preparation or should we call it prevarication? I need to start actually getting more artwork itself made. Bluish turquoise this time. Again, that'll be useful for coastal work. And that's a 3-star, I believe. Yes, it is. Now we're getting on to some of the darker colours. I'm going to do this one first because I'm assuming this one will be greener because it is Derwent Lightfast Ocean Blue Dark. Light fastness of 1. I'm already starting to see some more violet-y undertones in there as well as the green, right? Okay, so DL Ocean Blue. But again, a beautiful muted Stormy Seas colour. That'll come in very useful. And Derwent Drawings Ink Blue. Well, anything that's called ink blue, you just imagine something gloriously dark and rich, don't you? This one isn't quite what I would have in mind with ink blue. I'd expect it to be a bit more on the either primary or violet side, I think. This one's got even more of a greenish tinge. Actually, I need to remember that. The ink blue's got more of a greenish tinge. I don't know if you can see it there, but it's definitely, I don't see any violet in that. I do see a little bit of violet in that. So I'd go, if I was going to be doing the ocean, I would go with the ink blue before I would the ocean blue dark. Does anybody else see different colours? I don't see different colours with different eyes, but I see different colour temperatures with different eyes. And I remember even as a kid, I used to sit there. I can remember sitting in my living room, covering one eye and then covering the other eye. And with one eye, everything would look really cool and bluish. And with the other eye, it would look really rosy and literally rose-coloured spectacles, kind of rosy. And is it doing it today? There's definitely a bluer cast. Not a great deal of difference in this light, I have to say. I think there's still a more of a bluish cast on my left eye. It might just be, I think I read somewhere it could just be the conditions at the time, like what you've been looking at or which side of your face has been in the dark or facing the window or something. But I've noticed it lots of times over the years and I just wondered whether anybody else did that. Right, light phthalo blue, but you're all trying it now, aren't you? There is a condition where people, what do? They see, what was it? When I was reading about it recently, they see colours with words, is it? Or something? I don't know. I'll have to go and look that up again, or I'll have to delve into my memory about that one. Right, we're starting to get towards the kind of, well, it's phthalo blue, slightly more on the reddish side. very little though. This one's definitely more on the reddish side. This is genuine cobalt blue, Luminance. So that's quite clearly getting more onto the reddish side of the blues, isn't it? That looks greener compared to this, doesn't it? Genuine cobalt blue. Genuine cobalt. I've only really bought these kinds of blues to do skies because they're not the kind of blues. I love them in their own right. They're beautiful, beautiful colours, but just because I tend to prefer more muted colours, probably not the sort of colours I would pick up normally. But there's no doubt that's a very pretty colour indeed. Starting to get on the more lavendery side of things. Then I've got Sky Blue from the Polychromos. Which is a little pinker again. I think this might be a kind of a ultramarine, a light ultramarine-ish kind of colour rather than a light cobalt look, because it's redder than that. $146, fully Lightfast, very pretty. Now, what have I put here? I've actually smoke blue. Okay. So I've had a Derwent drawing smoke blue, and this is Holbein smoke blue. So they're quite different, but that confused me for a second because this is new, and we had this recently, and I hadn't connected the two in my mind. It's definitely got violet undertones, so it's kind of a violet grey really. Very pretty indeed. Great for the undersides of clouds, which I need to work on. I don't know if I really want to get into, like, these are quite precise pieces of work, not quite realistic, but relatively realistic. But in my mind, I want to. I haven't written on that one again. In my mind, I want to get more into slightly more abstract work, so I can use colours as I want and not feel as though I'm tied to having to use them in the way, realistically. I want to be able to play a bit and do some interesting pops of colour, as I call them. But just some interesting colour combinations, because I so enjoy colour combinations as well, and creating colour combinations. I think I'd like to be more creative with that side of it. So still do the landscapey work, but perhaps be a little bit freer with the colours. A bit more stylized, maybe. Not too stylized, but we'll see. See where I end up. That one, now let's see how that compares. So the ink blue was definitely... Now, so I've got 3 similar dark blues here, look, in the sense that they're all similar value. So all these 3 are of similar value. The ink blue has definitely got the greenest tinge. The ocean blue is pretty much in the middle. It's more of a blue. Maybe a touch of... I can see both violet and green in that, so it's kind of must be in the middle. And the dark indigo, Polychromos dark indigo, is definitely the one with the most violet tinge. So that's a useful combination there. Then I've got the Polychromos Delft blue, which is getting into a useful Well, useful for flowers, bluebells. It's a bit too purpley for bluebells, isn't it? I could still maybe do with an ultramarine, actually, for bluebells. Right, so Polychromos, Delft Blue. That one's a 3-star, so I don't need to write anything on there. So I've gone from... So this is also useful for me to see where my gaps are. But yeah, I haven't got much in between there. So I could do with something else in the middle of there if I'm trying to fill all my gaps. Now, this is the Luminance Ultramarine Violet, which, as you can imagine, is a very pretty colour. I'll just write ultra for the sake of laziness and space. Right, now this next one, actually this next one might fill that gap better. And there is, now this is the Nightshade by Derwent Lightfast. And there is, I think, a violet blue or one that's kind of like this kind of value, but a little bluer. So that might fill the gap in between those rather better, because this is quite warm toned, isn't it? It's quite dark grapey. Certainly some red, quite a lot of red in that one, which is a beautiful colour though. I love that. Right, let's get that one down. So Derwent Lightfast, Nightshade. And then I'm getting into some of the more muted violets. So this one is Violet Grey by Luminance. Again, a gorgeous colour. Lightfastness 1. I haven't been writing these lightfastness ones down, have I? I think at 093, or could be 33. No, it's 93. There we are. This one I'm going to do next because it's not the same, but in terms of how muted it is, the Derwent Drawing Mars Violet, I think Derwent Lightfast do the same colour. It's similar, isn't it? This is more reddish. Very pretty, but that's gone a bit pinker. I'll be going bluer again now. We have Derwent Lightfast Wild Lavender. And Lightfastness 1. I'll go through and check my lightfastness ratings later. See if I've put them all on. All the ones I want to. Heather, Derwent Lightfast, Lightfastness 1. So this one's pinker. This is the Polychromos Manganese Violet, I think. I'm struggling to read that. I'm pretty sure that's the manganese violet. I really can't see the number on that one at all. It shows up much better on some colours than others for some reason. I've recently joined a couple of Facebook pencil groups, and they've been talking about how they label their pencils because they can't actually see what they are unless they've got labels on. So some people have been putting lengthwise labels on them. Some people have put labels around. I think they said the lengthwise ones, somebody had found them easier to read. But it's a shame to have to put your own labels on something that's already labelled, isn't it? It's a shame that these don't show up very easily. I'm obviously not the only person who's struggling to read them. There, right, I shall get those ones laid out for you, and so you can have a good look at all of them in one go. And I'll add these two which are left out of the last green set as well. Okay, so here are my blues and violets. I'm sorry the light on the right hand side is fading somewhat, so I'll just work my way along for you, and I'll put some music on for a couple of moments. And these two I think I should have put on the warmer side actually, certainly the Mars violet. But anyway, main thing is that you can see them. If you've got any suggestions for colours you think I should get to fill any gaps, then please let me know. I hope this has been useful to you, and maybe that you've seen some colours that you might be interested in buying yourself if you're on the lookout for them. So yeah, I will see you in the next video. If you're interested in liking and subscribing, I will be doing the warmer colours next time. I've also done a couple of other swatching videos of my watercolours you might be interested in. And I have a couple of videos from last year from when I was doing lots of jelly plate printing. I haven't done much of that lately. So thank you ever so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Look after yourselves and hope to see you next time. Bye for now.